Hi, my name is Mark Widener, and I love the Wellspring School of the Heart. I want to tell you a little bit about kind of my journey with the school. It started from pretty much a place of a little bit of skepticism and a little hesitance. When we came to New Day, I had spent a lot of years studying the scriptures. I went through some theology classes, was ordained as a minister, and the idea of another school was seemed a little maybe unnecessary, like a little bit of overkill. I had been walking with the Lord my entire life, had a good relationship with Jesus, had a great marriage, good friendships, felt pretty put together and healthy, and yet was continually being encouraged by friends to go ahead and participate in the school. And so we talked, my wife and I, and we determined, maybe it's not necessary. Then we had a good idea. We talked to Jesus and asked him what he thought, and felt that he told us, yes, we should go to the school. And one thing that we committed to when we went to the school was that we were going to be all in 100%, that we weren't going to do it part way or just kind of, hang out, but that we were going to open up our lives to everything that Jesus had through this school. And as we did, there was significant transformation in our lives. We had come to a point where we felt fairly mature, fairly grown up in the Lord. We were still fairly young, but there was such a season of growth that opened up as we came to the school. And for me, the primary area of growth in my life was just through the reality of that we are all called and able to hear the voice of our Father. And that was something that I would have agreed to if you asked me, but it wasn't a lifestyle. It wasn't something I engaged with on a regular basis. And it's interesting, David said in Psalm 139 that even before we were born, that the Lord knew every thought in our mind. He knew all about us. And so when we engage and ask him what he thinks about us, what he thinks about our life, he has something to say that really pulls us into a deeper place with him. I remember one night at the school, we were going through some things, thought I knew what the problem was and what the solution would be. And in a time of ministry, Josh Sly came up and just uttered the words, "The Lord wants you to know that he trusts you." And I realized that what I thought was the issue wasn't the issue at all, but that my Creator knew something that was going in my heart that I needed to hear. And it just propelled me forward into a deeper relationship with him. And to feel that growth for myself personally, but then to also through studying prophetic ministry and hearing God's voice for others, we get to see what he thinks about our brothers and sisters in the Lord. And that becomes a very unifying and a time to see the best in others and really call it out. And I think it just is such a rich way to build the community through recognizing that God does speak to us. He's got so much to say, and our lives are different because we went through this school. Asking God what he has to say about situations, engaging with him, with the scriptures. This is a part of daily life. Looking at others, asking what is God saying about them and where they're at has become a lifestyle that has brought us so much freedom, so much peace, and so much joy. And so now we get to participate often as part of the pastoral team and see others go through this same journey. So I say this often, but if you have any questions in your heart about whether I should do this and you're waiting for a confirmation from the Lord, let this be the confirmation. He is confirming, yes, this is something you should do, and trust the Creator of you and of me, that he's got something good and rich for you. And that's all I have to say.